Hi guys, welcome back. In this video we're going to be taking a look at this. Now this was sent to me very kindly from the guys at One Leaf. It's the NV400 Commander. It's a day and night digital scope. It was sent to me quite some time ago, but it was pretty much when we were having all the bad weather and just couldn't get out for love and money because it went on for weeks and months. But when it finally stopped, the grass was getting too long and I just wasn't able to get out. But going to be out and about now. Hopefully put it on target in a minute at say 50 yards. There's going to be no vermin shot in this one. It's literally just a product review. But I hopefully will be doing some videos with it out and about after rabbits and perhaps a fox or two. But yeah, like I say, it's a day and night digital scope. It's got a 4:52 magnification on it, which is quite extraordinary. I don't think I've known a digital scope to go quite that high. It's got a 50mm objective lens in it. It's got a LRF which is added on to the side of the scope. That can be removed, and it also comes with its own IR torch, which I will be going through the contents of the box at the end of the video and then giving you guys my opinion on it, what I think about it at the end of it. But for now I'm literally going to put it on paper at 50 yards. I'm going to be using it on my 22 LR. Now there is a very good reason for that, well, two good reasons for that. Firstly, the 22 is pretty much my go-to rifle at the moment for doing rabbit shooting and bits and pieces. It's accounted for a few foxes as well, as a lot of you guys will know. But I decided also to put it on the 22 because this is quite a heavy scope when you've got the rangefinder and the IR torch on top of it as well. So I thought I'd travel light with it for today. Not saying that it wouldn't work on a 223 or more, but literally for the review of this scope I'm literally going to be using the 22. So I think now it's time to put a target out at 50 yards, have a go, see how well it zeroes, and I shall let you know if I have any issues with that, and then I shall be doing some footage for you during the day as it gets dusk, and then at night time just to see what the overall performance of the scope is like. So time for me to put a target out and see how we get on. Right, so I've just put one shot down at the target, and considering the scope is straight out the box and straight on the gun, it's not a million miles away. I've got one of the splatter targets on a cardboard box and it's just shooting low. The actual left and right isn't too far off, but I've had to make a slight adjustment to bring the crosshairs up. Now when it comes to adjusting the crosshairs, unfortunately this scope doesn't have the freeze frame option like a lot of the other ones do. However, it's still very simple to do. Simply push and hold down the top toggle switch, then it brings up the main menu, and you rotate it once to where it says shot 0. Click that and then it brings up the crosshairs and the one that you need to adjust it with. So like I say, where it doesn't have the freeze frame option, obviously you've got to try and hold the rifle as still as you can. I'm shooting off a bipod with a rear bag here, so I'm doing my best to try and get it as steady as possible. And then you simply rotate the toggle left or right depending which way you want the windage to go, and then when you've made that correction, push it down once, then you can adjust your elevation up and down. When you're happy that it's somewhere near it, simply push the record button on top. It then asks you to push it again to save the details into profile A. It will then take you back to the main menu, and then you simply push down the main toggle again for around about 2 to 3 seconds and it goes back to the main display. And now it's time to have another go and see how close we are to the centre of the target. Well, that wasn't too bad actually. Not exactly a million miles away from the centre of the bullseye, but obviously just a slight correction, a little bit higher, a bit more to the right, but for a first go at like centralising the crosshair, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. Like I say, very nice system to adjust the crosshairs, just a shame it hasn't got the freeze option on it, but Nevertheless, still happy. I shall fine tune this now and should be good to go for 50 yards. Well, I must admit I'm pretty happy with that. I mean, that's centre target at the size of my thumbnail, so 50 yards, rabbit's head, no problem at all. So yes, if I was shooting off a bench I could really tighten up the groups, but when you're out in the field you're shooting off sticks or perhaps a bipod. So but yeah, no, I'm very happy with that. So like I say, ever so easy, and once you have sighted in the crosshairs where you want, when it saves your adjustments X and Y, it gives you 3 little numbers there. If you want to take note of the numbers just for future reference, you know, it wouldn't be a bad idea to do. But no, I'm happy with that. All good. So it's just gone 9 o'clock at night. I've got the front lens cover on with the sunshade, just pointing down towards this hedge. So I just thought I'd show you guys the other 2 modes. The second mode they call Starlight, which I'll just do now. And it's that. And it says about removing the sunshade. So if I just unscrew that, literally makes no difference. And I've got to be honest, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Not quite sure what they're trying to achieve with that. Yeah, definitely not for me. Anyway, moving on to night mode. Remove the front lens cover. So that's what it's like with the lens cover on at this sort of time of night. And that's what it's like off. I don't think it's really made a great deal of difference, to be honest. So sort of try and sharpen up the image a little bit. So that's it in night mode at 9 o'clock at night, which I can quite easily see. Even where the crosshair is now, you can quite easily see a fox walking down there, even with a naked eye at the moment. But yeah, I must admit the image quality is quite good with that. So this is the scope on night mode. No IR torch at all. 10:30 at night. I'm just having a look at these bales out in the field. So I'm just going to flick the IR torch on. That's on its lowest mode. Quick press of the button puts it onto medium, and one more puts it on to high power. And I must admit, that's quite impressive. Just try and focus a little bit there. Yes, you could play around with all the settings in the scope to make the image even crisper, but just for the sake of this review, I must admit I'm impressed with it. So moving on to the scope itself and things that I like and dislike about it. I'm going to start off with a couple of the negative points. Firstly, the weight. It is a very, very heavy scope, especially when you've got the LRF and the torch on it as well. It is quite a big beast to carry around, especially on a larger caliber rifle. On the rimfire, perhaps 17 HMR. I'd even use this on my 223 to be fair, but anything bigger than that, if you're walking around countless amount of fields, or I don't know, perhaps you're on the moors or something like that, you will notice this being on your rifle if you're using large caliber rifles. But yeah, it'd be nice if they could reduce the weight a little bit if they're doing a follow-up version to this. So that's the first bit. Second bit is this top turret. That's just too noisy. Not a fan of that at all. If they could quieten that down, that would be a lot better. If you're out in the field and, I don't know, you've got a fox at like 50-60 yards or something like that, he's going to hear that. So if they can make that a little bit quieter. Regarding the function of the turret itself, it does work well, but when you're zooming in and out, if you take it nice and steady, zooming in and then zooming back again, it has no problems at all. If you try going back quickly, it almost like stops and then tries catching up with itself. It doesn't go as quick as what you can move the toggle itself. So just take it nice and steady when you're zooming in and out, and you won't have a problem with it. The next thing that I dislike is the starlight mode, twilight mode, whatever you want to call it. That pink colour, not a fan of that at all. Going from daytime to that starlight, if they could keep that as like colour, like some other manufacturers have done, but like enhance the colours, that would be better, I think, before going on to night mode. But yeah, that pink is, I don't know, it's just not for me, I'm afraid. And lastly, I would say the fact that it hasn't got a freeze frame option when it comes to zeroing the scope. I know it's not the be all and end all, yes, I get that, but when you're out in the field, like laying off a bipod and like I was doing with the rear bag and that, if you just have that option, it does make life so much easier. So if they could do that on another model, that would be fantastic. So that's pretty much the things that I dislike about the scope. The things that I do like about the scope are, well, where shall I start? Let's start at the front. The objective ring, the focus ring, so smooth. It really, really is. That is always my go-to when I get sent a scope to review, to see how smooth that is, and that is effortless. Absolutely love that. The little torch that come with it, yes, it's nice. Personally, I wouldn't use it when I do my own videos with this scope. I will use either my PBIRX or the IR Lurk build laser that I've got. I am going to be interested to see how they actually perform with this scope. I've not tried them yet because this was literally just a review with what comes with this scope. What I do like with this, it gives you, well, if you can see it, there's like 3 little coloured lights there. 1 light is low, 2 lights is medium, 3 lights is high power. It goes from spot to flood. For using this straight out of the box with that torch, yeah, it's good. But like I say, I don't think personally I would use it. I want something that's going to hopefully make the scope and the image a lot better, which is why I'm going to use one of my other torches with it. But for what comes with it, yeah, it does look quite good. You wouldn't have any problems using it, sort of like out to 100 yards maybe a little bit more. Also, I like on here the buttons on the top, not just for the function, but at night they illuminate. It's a white light, and that's brilliant. So there's no sort of trying to guess on some scopes, you know, which one does what. You can actually see what the buttons are, and it's not too bright. It doesn't illuminate your face or anything. It's just a nice white glow. That's fantastic. I absolutely love that. The daytime footage I find with this scope is crystal clear. It is really, really good. Probably as good as the Alpex, I would say. And that is quite a high praise, I think, because I absolutely love my Alpex. This, for a scope that's cheaper than that, the actual daytime footage is brilliant, really good. The only thing I did notice a couple of times, I was filming that fox, and obviously I was on the floor. I happened to walk into the field, the fox was there, so I quickly laid on the floor on the bipod, and when I was moving it around, it sort of, the picture juddered a little bit when I was trying to move around. It wasn't nice and smooth. That was probably me on the floor, I'd imagine, but the actual quality of the daytime footage that you get from this scope is fantastic. Really, really good. So no problems with that whatsoever. The microphone's good in it as well, I must admit. I was pleased with that. And the LRF, had no issues with it. They say 1100 yards or meters, I can't remember which one it is they say it is. I was having a play around with it out in the field and I got it to 1050, but anything sort of past 700 it kept saying out of range, and then on the screen, and then that would disappear and then it would carry on ranging, and I got it to 1050. So you couldn't see where the aim point was on the crosshair by any means, but yeah, it was 1050 was what I got it to, so that is pretty good, I must admit. Inside the menu system, I wish this would record and then allow you to go into the menu. There is tons and tons and tons of features on this, really good. Any of you have seen my NV400 review, I said how good the menu system was on that. This is just as good. I haven't actually used the features for the ballistic calculator. I am going to, because I'm going to be doing my own videos with this scope, so I'm going to set this up with the ballistic calculator. I was talking to Trev from Foxer One. If you guys haven't seen his channel, head over to his channel. He's got one of these and he said that he put it on his rimfire, I think it was, and he set his up and he was so impressed with how far this was going and how accurate it was. He said it was so simple to set up, so I'm going to be doing this with mine. I'm going to get it all set up properly and then you guys will see just how good this thing really is with the ballistic calculator. So looking forward to doing that in my own videos. But yeah, the options that are in the menu system is just staggering. It really, really is. So the overall sort of verdict of this NV400 Commander is I really like it, and I can't wait to get out again and put some more videos together with it. There are a couple of options with this if you are interested in one of these scopes. There's the NV400 Commander, which is what I've got, and they also do the Eagle. Now the Eagle is a 2:24 magnification on it, so obviously it's a wider field of view on the base mag. Personally, I think for what I use it for, I would go for that one, the Eagle, rather than this one, literally because it's got a wider field of view, because it will probably be on the rimfire for quite some time, so I would like something with a more wider field of view. Now when it comes to buying one of these, you can either buy the scope with the LRF or you can buy it without. Without is around $500. If you want it with the LRF, I think it's $650 or $659, somewhere around there. What I'm going to do is leave a couple of links in the description below for One Leaf. If you click on there, and if you are interested in buying either the Commander or the Eagle with or without the LRF, if you use Jimwood Shooting NV400, that will give you a discount code of 10%, and I think that's valid to about August the 6th, somewhere around there. They may well extend it. If they do, then obviously I'll do a quick update and let you guys know. But yeah, I must admit, for a scope that is very competitively priced, you're not going to go far wrong with this, as long as you don't mind it being a little bit heavy. But like I say, on the rimfire and that, or even if you're putting it on an air rifle or whatever, it's ideal. But personally for me, I would go for the Eagle just for the wider field of view on a base mag. But I can't wait to get out in the field and put some of my own videos together with this. Really looking forward to it. But that's pretty much it, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Like I say, if you are interested, click on the links in the description below and enter Jimwood Shooting NV400 for a 10% discount. So a massive thank you to One Leaf for sending this unit out to me. I really do appreciate it. Looking forward to putting it back on the rifle and going out after the rabbits and maybe a fox or two with it. So as always, guys, thanks ever so much for watching. Any questions, leave in the comments below and I'll get back to you on those. But other than that, I'll see you on the next one.